welcome back to my YouTube channel, where this year I'm trying to grow as much of my own fruit and veg as I possibly can. It is a gorgeous day here in the Welsh Mountains. It is the 1st of April and things have started to grow. Unfortunately, that means the weeds as well. Polytunnel is looking really light this morning. Lots of sunshine in here. And you'll have to excuse all the weeds. I do need to do some severe weeding, and once I finish this video I will be having a really good water. So everything seems to be very dry. It dries out very quickly once the sun starts to shine. As you can see, the shallots are getting very green. I've got a bit of an experiment going where I've got some growing through an old bag. The thistles seem to love it, and the nettles. Might make some tea with those later. And I've got some that I planted not so long ago, which I'm doing without any sort of ground cover, without any bags, to see how that goes. But as you can see, these are doing really well. I have a few things here in this bed. These I'm going to plant out. These are my runner beans, which I actually grew from seed, and they were from some seeds from a plant that had gone to seed last year. And they've done exceptionally well. I have got some poles here, but when I plant them out I will be putting some fleece around them, because even in the polytunnel up here it gets very cold. But they're looking fantastic, so hopefully they'll do really well. I did cheat and I bought a few plants at a recent trip to the garden centre. These are some broccoli and some Savoy cabbage, and a few lettuces, a couple which seem to have been eaten as well. And I just thought they might give me a little head start, because obviously my broccoli and cabbage, and that is still a seed at the moment. And I've got a tomato plant there as an experiment. I don't know if that'll grow so early, but I've put a bottle around it to give it extra insulation. I might actually take the bottle off so it doesn't get too hot today if the sun keeps on shining. Got some trays of seeds here, mainly peas and broad beans. I'm growing them inside this bed drawer. It's on these under the bed storage drawers. I keep them in here to keep them extra warm, because obviously I put the lid on at night, and also to try and help protect them from mice. I have a real mice and ant problem in this polytunnel, and I'm fighting a losing battle, I think, but I'm trying to protect them as much as I can, humanely. So they're beginning to come through. Then over here, this whole bed is planted up with peas, beans, broad beans, runner beans, mange too. How it'll grow I don't know, because as I say, I do have a big mouse problem, but I put just loads and loads of seeds in. I thought if I put enough in, surely some will grow. The mice will get stuffed and leave some behind. And as you can see, a few things are beginning to come up, and there's lots of ants running around. Somebody told me that if you just keep watering, they get a bit cheesed off and go and move somewhere else because they don't like getting wet. So I am going to be watering again after this video. And I've got this old clothes horse here because I throw a piece of fleece over it at night to try and keep them extra warm. And then I have some tubs here. This is carrots and spring onions. I don't know if you can see, but there is some little teeny tiny spring onions coming through there. Another one over there. But there is not a lot coming through in the carrots yet. This is my Pentland Javelin first early potatoes and weeds. But as you can see, the potatoes are coming up lovely. But I still have to be very careful. I've got some fleece here to throw over them because I have had some late frosts, and even in the polytunnel it gets so cold up here, and the leaves will go black and sort of die off, and you get a very low yield of potatoes. So if there's any hint of frost, I have to come and cover them up. The ones in the bags are doing fantastic as well. And these are my radishes and the dog. These are my radishes, and as you can see, I just sprinkled a load on the top here. I just got a bit sprinkle happy, I think, just filled the tub. And they're coming up wonderfully well. So I can't wait to eat those. Doing quite a bit of container gardening this year because I do have such a big weed problem in the polytunnel. This is mixed leaves in here. And as I say, that's why I did buy some extra lettuces, because these are still very tiny, but I'm hoping in a few weeks I'll be able to have some salad. In amongst all those weeds there are some more shallots coming through. Do need to have a bit of a weeding session. This stuff here is the vein of my life, and here it just grows and grows, but it does pull out quite easily, thank goodness. So then I have more peas and more broad beans. These are ones that are slightly further on. Obviously I grew all these from seeds, and I've been putting lids on the top of them in the evening. More containers doing really well. I have some Mizuna in here, and I have some spinach in here, so we're going to be fine for greenery. And these potatoes are doing great. These ones are rocket, and they do seem to grow very well in here. I grow these most years because, as you can see, they do seem to rocket through. They're very quick. But again, I'll have to fleece them if it gets cold at night. And they're doing well in the tub as well, because I had a few left over. So sorry about the camera there. I put a few in tubs. Last over here I have some onions. These are red onions, I think. Yes, pretty sure these are red onions. And as you see, I've planted these through some plastic to try and beat this awful weedy stuff a bit. And they're doing quite well. Some nice, amongst the grass, you can see the tops of the onions. They seem quite happy. And this is 2 bags which haven't started growing. I haven't long planted these. These are some sort of salad potatoes. Don't think I've grown them before, but they're not coming through just yet. So, oh, nice bit of sunshine causing havoc with the camera. So that's the Polytunnel tour. And now I've got fantastic news on the rhubarb front. So we'll go and pop and have a look at that. So here we are in another part of the garden where I have my rhubarb planted. I have tried, I must say, to cultivate this part of the garden numerous times. Nature always takes over, and I think I've just given up. But I do have a bit of a bed here with some rhubarb. And here it is. Now, this sorry looking one over here, which hopefully will make a comeback, it seems to have been attacked a bit. This is one I've actually grown from a few years ago from one of the packets in the garden centre, and it's never really done very well. I don't know why. I did have a tyre over it until recently, and then it was sort of growing a bit bigger than the tyre, so I took it off. But this one and its friend next to it, these are 2 pieces I actually got from a market, where it looked like a guy had just taken his massive rhubarb plant and hacked it into chunks and was selling it off cheap on the market. And I've grown it, and it's done really well. As you can see, it's sort of just really loving the spot here and taken off. Now, I know you're not supposed to pick rhubarb in its first year. You're supposed to leave it, but I can honestly say I might sneak a little bit of it. I certainly won't be stripping it, but if it carries on growing as it does, I'll certainly have a little bit of rhubarb to eat later on in the season. There is also over here, this is another small piece which I actually thought had died. I planted it a couple of years ago and nothing seemed to happen. And then when I was looking at the rhubarb earlier, I thought, oh gosh, there it is. So I don't know what happened to it last year, but it's making a comeback. So I'll have to try and weed it and give it a bit more space. Although some of this around here isn't actually weeds. Some of this, and I wish you could smell this, it smells gorgeous. This is mint. And I think I'm going to have to be drinking lots and lots of mint tea from now on, because I have got loads of it, and it's very evasive, but I'm not going to try and dig it up because I love tea, and this is now free tea for me, and it smells fantastic. I keep sniffing it here, and but of course you can't smell it, but it's dotted all round the rhubarb. Wait, I think the dog's trying to eat some of it here. And so yes, so we will be baking some, and nettles as well I have, so we have a free supply of nettle and peppermint tea. So there we are, there's a little bit of an update of what's going on in the garden. I hope your garden's growing really well. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more of these videos where we'll be doing some sort of crazy gardening and recycling and probably a bit of running as well. But in the meantime, I better go and do a lot of weeding and some watering.